I have squared the circle. It's the Jungian archetype of wholeness. The squaring of the circle, the impossible, the physicalization of the spiritual is the squaring of the circle. The circle relates to the number 3, pi. The square relates to the number 4, the 4 sides of the square. So squaring of the circle is the physicalization of the spiritual. This physicalization of the spiritual occurs in the holiday of Sukkot. And it occurs from using the matzah of Pesach. Because the matzah of Pesach has to be round. The way you make matzah is to hand roll it. When you hand roll it, it's like a pizza. Comes out round. Bread comes out round when it's hand rolled. That's the spiritualization. And then in the sukkah, from a circular sukkah is permissible for other reasons. And a sukkah has to have 3 walls. But a sukkah is square. And you go in there as a spiritual person. And you're in there as a round cylinder. Roundness of the head. And you go in there as roundness. In the shade of the sukkah, where the round sun or the round moon shines its light inside. This spiritual enlightenment. And you're in these 4 walls. You're in the squareness. And you eat the matzah in the sukkah. The Passover matzah, the Hag HaMatzot. It's not called Passover. Not called Pesach. It's called Hag HaMatzot. And what is Sukkah called? It's Hag HaSukkot. And the gematria of these things, well, it's Hag HaMatzot spells, HaMatzot, by the way, is 541, which is Yisrael. And HaSukkot, depending on the if you use a Vav or you don't use a Vav for Sukkot, comes out to be 496 plus 1, comes out to be 497. 496 is Malkus. The physicalization. And this Malkus is a square. It's a 4. It's the physical. Did you ever see the 2 shins on the tefillin? 3-pronged shin and a 4-pronged shin. The 3-pronged shin to the right, which is Chokhmah, the male, and the 4-pronged shin to the left, which is the female. In this 3 and the 4 is the secret of the circle in the square. And the physicalization of this in 3 dimensions comes out to be a cube. The physicalization of a square in 3 dimensions is a cube. And that cube is the tefillin. And the tefillin has a circle of the straps in the head. And the tefillin circles down here on the arm after the tefillin. But the real secret is also the shape of the head, which is cylinder, 3-dimensional circle. Then the cube of the arms And when you're in that sukkah, you do a lulav, where the lulav represents the lamed, and the lamed has a shape of a vav and then a kaf. So the vav comes from above. It's the only letter that goes above. And that's the light coming down. The lulav itself is a vav. And it brings the light in the 6 directions of the sukkah. Inside the spiritualization within this physical compartment. And the whole secret is to see that the matzah and Pesach is round. Hag ha-matzah, matzot. Hag ha-sukkot. It's not hag ha-lulav. It's lav ha-sukkot, the sukkah, the square. The circle in the square. That's what happens when you pass over matzah in the sukkah. The physicalization of the spiritual is the secret of Judaism. The 4 encompassing the 3. And together they make 7. This 4 and 3 is even shown in the Zeir Anpin and Nekuva, or Zeir Anpin, say, and Malkus. Zeir Anpin is, well, let's use Zeir Anpin and Nekuva. The Hesed, Gevurah, and Teferet are the 3 higher aspects. And then there's a 4 below, which is physicalization. Netzach, Chod, Yesod, and Malkus. It's a physicalization of the 3 fathers. So the 3 fathers of Avraham, Yitzhak, and Yaakov. And quite frankly, Yaakov transitions to Yisrael. Because the heel of Yaakov goes into the head of Yisrael. Yaakov, Yisrael. Rosh to me, head to me. And this Yisrael is below the, so to speak, below the girdle. Netzach, Hod, the testes. Yes, Netzach, Hod, and Hod, the testes. Yesod, the bris. Into Malkus, the square, the feminine. There's 3 into 4. There's 7 manifestors. These 7 days, the first 3 are different than the second 4 of the week. The first 3 days are comprised of the Yehida and Chaya levels. The higher level leaving the... Well, we'll go on. So the whole idea, even in the... So the great secret is the Samach and the Mem. The Samach and the Mem. This Samach and Mem, The samak is 60, the mem is 40. It's also 600. And this 600 is found as the din of Keta. And the samak is found as the secret of the word sakak. Starts with, which is for the secret, that's the secret of the sukkah, is the sakak, the covering of the sukkah. And as you cover the sukkah with a sakak, the samak is the sa, and then kach is kaf, that's 40. And so right there you have the 100, and you have the din of the samak, of the sakak as being 40, and the kedusha being 60, and there right here you have 100. And everything in Judaism is 100. Yud times Yud. Do I have a little? Oh, let me remove. Kabbalah in real time. My greatest video, and I have food. A pregnant silence. That's right, it's called Hag HaSukkot and Hag HaMatzah, Matzot. It's not called Pesach. It's not called Hag HaLulav. In the final analysis, you have 6 directions in the sukkah. It's a cube. Where else do you have cubes? Islam took it as the Kaaba, the cube. The great secret in psychology and in alchemy is a squaring of the circle, the physicalization of the spiritual. You got it? Believe me, you'll hear more of this.